Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Tarot CelebriTEA with your boy Ducky. Today we are going to be reading cards for Han and Lee from Stray Kids, which is a South Korean group. I was thinking Stray Kids was like a TV show. Nope, your boy Ducky was wrong. I always do a little bit of Googling. Just a small little Google just to make sure, I at least know the gist of whose cards I'm reading, but I like to go into these readings blindly. So I know nothing about Lee nor about Han. All I know from what I Googled is that they are very close friends. And also, I would like to thank all of you guys, or all of you, for subscribing to the Ducky channel. I really appreciate it. I hit my goal of 300 subscribers before the end of this month. So, yay! I, am so motivated. Thank you all so much for, just subscribing, or even like just watching some of these videos. Even if you're not subscribed, I totally appreciate you for even just giving me the chance and the opportunity to entertain you all. And speaking of entertainment, remember that these videos are for entertainment purposes only. And why is that? That is because Lee nor Han are here to confirm nor deny that what I am seeing in the cards is truth or not true. So just remember to take these videos with a grain of salt. So let's get ready to read some cards for Lee and Han. Let's get a view on their relationship, or not their relationship, I'm sorry, their friendship. But a friendship is a relationship, it's just a friendly relationship. You can have all sorts of types of relationships, but for clarification again, let's get a look at their friendship, Lee and Han. So let's get going. So let's see what is going on with Lee and Han's friendship currently. What is their energy like right now? We got the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Love, Lady Wisdom, or the High Priestess in regular tarot, and the Last Judgment in reverse. Interesting. Multifaceted titanium rainbow quartz. Okay, so yeah, multifaceted is making a lot of sense with the first card that showed up, which is the Seven of Cups. So multifaceted and the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is telling me that I'm trying to get this like really clear. So 1 second. There we go. Okay. So the Seven of Cups normally talks about there being a lot of choices, a lot of options to choose from. But in reverse, it can mean that there are just so many choices to choose from, so many things to do, that you have no idea what you're doing. So it seems like between the two of them, there's a lot of things that they want to do, during their friendship. And, together, there's a lot of facets. There's a lot of layers to their friendship. There's so many things that they've done and so many more things that they're wanting to do. And this is making sense with the Seven of Cups here in reverse, and with this titanium rainbow quartz talking all about multifaceted, there being a lot of layers to the situation. So they have a great connection here with the High Priestess. The High Priestess, is the third card in the major arcana. And this card is all about, having a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of spiritual enlightenment. So it seems like the two of them are very connected spiritually. Like they're very much kindred spirits. They are very close. They know each other very well. And so with the last judgment here showing up in reverse with their current energy, I feel like they're they're a little bit indecisive. Like they know that they want to do a lot of things, you know, they want to do a lot of things, you know, together as friends and experience a lot of things, you know, like maybe traveling the world and doing all these things. And so with the last judgment here in reverse, I feel like they just don't really have an idea of what they want to do. Like they know they want to do a lot. They know that they want to accomplish a lot of things. And there's a lot of things that they can accomplish. They just don't really know what to do next, where to start. But the good thing here is that they have a very good solid friendship here. So let's go into each of them. So what does Han think of Lee, and what does Lee think of Han? So also, I apologize if I am sounding very Americanized when pronouncing their names. I believe I'm pronouncing them somewhat okay. But if not, feel free to let me know. Feel free to correct me. We are all works in progress, and I am always growing, always learning, forever changing. So, as we all are. So, yeah. Feel free to correct me at any point with any of my videos. So, all right. So, let's start first with Lee. What does Lee think of Han? The Ace of Shields, the Ace of Wands, the World of Shadows, the Moon card, the Two of Wisdom, the Two of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so all right side up cards. So what does Lee think of Han? To me, it seems like Lee feels that Han is a very good business partner, very driven, very much a go-getter. Lee feels that Han is just very fiery, very passionate, goes after what they want, is very goal-oriented, very driven. And Lee feels that Han has a lot of depth to him. With the Moon card here showing up, it seems that like Han has a lot of depth to him. There's so much more to him than is shown, you know, in the surface. There's so much to him beneath the surface, and that's what it seems like Lee feels. And because these are all about how Lee perceives Han. And Lee also believes that Han is a very good multitasker. With the Two of Wisdom or the Two of Pentacles showing up, the Two of Pentacles talks about, you know, juggling, doing a lot of things at once. So it seems like Lee feels that Han is a very good business person, very driven, and is able to do so many things at one time without getting lost. And there's just so much more to Han than what people may first see, or from like first glimpses, first appearances and stuff like that. There's a lot of depth to him. There's a lot of emotions here. Like there's a lot of emotional depth to Han. All right. So let's see on the flip side, what does Han think of Lee? The Four of Love, the Four of Cups. Okay. The Lord of Shields, the Lord of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. Ooh, look at this. Like the way that these cards are showing up too. Yeah, they are, you know, again, I don't know anything about them, but like with the way that this is showing up, I feel like they have a really good, solid friendship here. So with the Four of Cups here, the Four of Love, I feel like Han thinks that Lee gets easily bored. The Four of Cups can talk about boredom, feeling depressed, you know. So it seems that either Han thinks that Lee gets bored easily, or maybe he sometimes gets prone to getting depressed. If he's not doing anything, Lee maybe gets bored and maybe starts getting depressed and stuff like that. And it makes sense because we also got the King of Wands here in regards to what does Han think of Lee. Han thinks that Lee is a very good leader. Lee, leader, get it? Okay, just me. So Han thinks that Lee is a great leader, very passionate, very driven, very ambitious, is a great businessman. And with the 10 of Pentacles here showing up, the 10 of Wisdom talks about absolute wealth, absolute, abundance. So Han thinks just like the absolute best in regards to Lee. He thinks that Lee is such a great friend. Han believes that Lee can accomplish anything that he puts his mind to. The only thing here is that maybe he's very energetic, very lively, so he is prone to maybe getting bored easily and maybe even getting a little bit depressed easily if he's not working on a project or leading someone towards something or doing something. But great cards here for them. Like, they have a really good connection. It's interesting that we got the Ace of Wands here in regards to what Lee thinks of Han, the first card of the Wands, and then we got the last card of the Wands here in regards to what does Han think of Lee. So it's like Han is a great go-getter, is great at starting things, and Lee is great at directing and like guiding like the business or the project or their goals. So like they are a very good friendship. Like one is the very much a good idea starter, go-getter, and that would be Han. And then Lee is very good at like creating the structure, creating like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. So it seems like Han has the great ideas and Lee knows this, and Han believes that Lee is a great leader. So interesting. So let's do some advice for them. Because, here in the Ducky channel, I love to end things on a nice positive note, something that they can benefit from, or even us while I'm talking, maybe there's something that can resonate with you or with me, and something to just keep in mind, some advice. So let's do that. All right, so let's get some advice we're going to start with some advice for Lee, and then some advice for Han, and then some advice for their friendship. How does that sound? All right, so let's get some advice for Lee. King of Wands showing up again. First, it came up with that Han believes Lee is the King of Wands, and now it's showing up for him. The Ace of Swords in reverse. And the 9 of Wisdom, the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, easy. All right. I was going to say interesting, but easy came out. So with the King of Wands here showing up for advice for Lee, the advice for Lee is to keep on being a leader. Like, Lee is a great leader. I'm going to keep on making that pun. I'm so sorry. I can't help myself. Lee is a great leader. And so he needs to, his advice is to keep on doing what he's doing. Keep on helping other people, guide them, lead them in not only his own ambitions, but other people's ambitions, helping them out as well. And the advice here is that sometimes he doesn't always have to be doing things. The Ace of Swords talks about being forceful, having a direct force, but in reverse, it can talk about not having to do anything. Sometimes, the advice for Lee is that sometimes, as a good leader, sometimes you don't always have to feel the need to do everything, or you don't always need to be moving, and to not feel sad, not feel down when he's not doing anything. With the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wisdom here in reverse, normally it talks about pleasure, having, being pleased with what you have accomplished. But in reverse, it talks about, not being pleased. So I feel like here, the advice for Lee is to not feel down whenever he's not doing anything. Because, just like how it happened with Han, how Han views Lee that he gets easily bored or maybe easily depressed when he's not doing anything. The advice for Lee is to not see it that way, to sometimes, you don't always have to be working or doing or taking action in order to feel pleased, in order to feel abundant. You know, you can stop and enjoy and rest and relish in the fruits of your labor. And that's kind of what is his advice for right now, is to continue being a leader, but not to always feel like he needs to always be doing something or taking action. He can still relish and be pleased with what he has accomplished while not having to always do everything or not always having to do something. So that's what I'm seeing for his advice. Now let's get some advice for Han. All right, let's get some advice for Han. The Seven of Shields, okay. The Convenanza. I want to say this is the Justice card. I'm going to have to look into my reference for that, because sometimes these cards, like two of the cards are sometimes switched depending on which deck I'm using. So I'm not too sure. Or maybe that's the Hanged Man. And the Two of Swords. All right, let's see. The Convenanza. It is the Justice card, but it might be Strength in this deck. I'm so sorry, y'all. I gotta look into. Strength card. Yeah, it's the Strength card in reverse. Okay, so his advice. Yeah, this makes sense. With the Seven of Shields. The Seven of Shields or the Seven of Wands talks about, you know, being persistent, having confidence, you know, not giving up, you know, especially when things get tough, to not give up on yourself, to keep believing in yourself. So this is the advice for Han. And with the Strength card showing up here in reverse, yeah, this is making sense. Like sometimes the advice is that, or sometimes for Han, maybe because the Moon card did show up in reverse, or yeah, it showed up right side up when in regards to how Lee views Han. Sometimes it seems like Han is maybe a little bit more of like the emotionally sensitive one. There's a lot more beneath the surface with him, and so it's easy for him to kind of like get discouraged when things get tough, when times get tough. So the advice for him is to believe in himself whenever times start getting tough, whenever, you know, it seems like he doesn't have any more strength left, or it seems like things are getting tough, or he can't do something. He needs to keep believing in himself. He needs to keep that fire. He needs to keep that drive, because it seems like sometimes he taps more into his emotional side, and then he loses that little like spark that he has, that little fire, that ambition, that drive. And with the Two of Swords here, the Two of Swords talks about, you know, balance and friendships, good friends. So his advice is like whenever he is starting to feel down, or he's starting to feel like not as confident in himself, he has good friends to lean on to that really support him. So he can really communicate with them, being like, hey, do you think I can do this? Or like, you know, just someone to give him a little like extra confidence, that little extra oomph, you know, that extra spark that he needs to keep reigniting and keep going. And in this case, I feel like Lee is the perfect person that Han can talk to whenever he's feeling down or feeling not confident. Lee is a good friend to be there, to like being like, you know, to communicate and help talk through things with him, and to help him continue to gain that confidence. So that's what I'm seeing. All right, let's get some advice for them as friends in their friendship connection. Let's get some advice for them. Oop. There we go. All right. Let's get some advice for Lee and Han. Seven of Shields, again, showing up. The Seven of Wands, all about confidence. The Nine of Shields. The Nine of Wands. There's a lot of wands showing up. And the Ten of Swords in reverse. And let's get a Crystal Angel Oracle card. Lapis Lazuli, life-changing epiphany or experience. Yeah. Okay, so I feel like with this coming out as an advice card, I feel like something's going to happen in regards to their friendship that's going to really test their friendship, like how strong of a connection they have, or they're going to really need to depend on each other very soon, because with life-changing epiphany or experience, there's going to be something that's going to be life-changing for the both of them that might already be happening, or it's going to happen soon, is what I'm seeing as these coming out as advice cards for the two of them together. The Nine of Shields, or the Nine of Wands, talks about, you know, being tenacious, you know, having that tenacity. There's going to be something that's going to really test both of their confidence and their strength, and they're going to need to really lean into one another and really stay confident in their friendship. There's going to be something that's going to happen that is going to really need them to depend and lean and on one another. And I'm seeing this because we got the Ten of Swords here in reverse. Normally the Ten of Swords talks about, you know, feeling ruined, feeling backstabbed, feeling betrayed, but in reverse it could seem like maybe like there could be some kind of like a betrayal that has happened, or is going to happen. Or if it does happen, you know, since these are advice cards, whenever someone gets hurt, when one of the other two gets hurt or feels hurt, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's always something that'll come out of it that'll be good, and they just need to weather out the storm and keep being confident, keep believing and being confident in their friendship, because they are very good friends, and it seems like they have gone through a lot together, and they work very well together. You know, they're very driven, they're very ambitious, and what one lacks, the other one makes up for. So whenever there's a life-changing experience or epiphany that happens for them as friends, you know, especially whenever things get tough, they need to always remember that they can always lean on to one another. They are a strong pillar of friendship, the two of them, and they need to keep on relying on that so they can continue being confident and, again, reliable with one another. And no matter, you know, whenever things get tough and they feel like maybe they can't be strong anymore, they need to really lean into one another, because they're a very good, solid friendship. They're a very strong friendship, or friends, and that's what I'm seeing. So feel free to let me know what you thought about this video in the comments section. Feel free to give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, a thumbs down if you did not like the video, and if you did not like the video, feel free to give me some constructive criticism on why. And also, remember that I do enjoy whenever you all send suggestions of what types of or whose cards I should read next. It is getting a little bit more hectic, which is a good thing, a problem for me to have. That means the channel is growing and more of y'all are requesting. So I might not be able to get to everyone's requests, but like whichever request seems to get like the most thumbs up in each video, I think I'm gonna start putting those more on my to-do list. Just because, you know, your boy Ducky is also, I'm working, and I also stream on Twitch, and I do other stuff. So, you know, feel free to just, like, if you see someone recommend something that you also would like to see, feel free to give that comment a thumbs up, and that'll also help me be like, oh, okay, this is what most people would want to see. me do in the future. So that's it for me. Thank you again for my 300 subscribers. I am I feel so blessed, so grateful, so loved, and I hope you all take care of yourselves and love yourselves and respect yourselves and respect others. And that's it for me. Thank you so much. Bye.